Welcome back. Less stress. Isn't that what we all need in 2019? I think so. Well, my next guest, Yvonne Talley, she leads meditation and de-stressing programs in Silicon Valley, and her new book is Breaking Up with Busy. Sounds like a plan. Welcome to Bay Area Focus.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy you're here. I told you this is going to be like school for me. So tell me, you start the book by saying, I'm busy is the new I'm fine. Why do we do that?
Well, it makes it so that everything is A-okay. It keeps the veneer up, so to speak. And what's really interesting is that if we're busy and the people that we associate with are busy as well, it's a way for us to connect without really having to say much at all. You get me, I get you when I say I'm busy, and you do the same. So it's a connection.
So what inspired you to do this work is you had a health scare.
I sure did.
What happened?
I see to write about what you know, so that's what I did. Well, I was so busy keeping up that facade of making sure that everything was taken care of in my life, my clients, my family. I was raising a daughter on my own. And in the health and wellness business, still I missed all of the signs that I was just creating this crazy busy life for myself. You know, I had the exercise in spades and the eating well, none of that was all okay, but I had that pace, you know, the sleepless nights, the overscheduled events, always trying to show up to everything and say yes to everything, and it caught up with me. I mean, eventually it will catch up with us all. It's not a lifestyle that we can maintain for long term in a well way, and that certainly is what happened to me, and I ended up in the back of the ambulance thinking I was having a heart attack. And in fact, I was having a panic attack.
It was from stress and anxiety and all of that.
Well, had never had one before. Thank goodness, never have had one since. And I thought that day, I never want to feel like this again. And I want to help my clients and those that I love and care for to also avoid ever having to feel this as well. And that's what sent me on this journey to write this book.
And it's interesting you mentioned your child. I also have 3 kids. And, you know, it's a tough game, parenthood, but we keep ourselves so busy, and it seems like more so now, we're trying to keep our kids just as busy.
Yes. Well, now that's interesting you should say that, because it doesn't happen in a bubble. This idea and this culture of busy does not just happen to ourselves. We create it, and it ripples out into our family, and we are teaching them how to be just as busy as us, because there's a certain sense of feeling of importance when we have a really full schedule. But really, what we want to do is back off from that, because again, long term, our wellness and the intimacy of our emotional intimacy of our relationships will suffer.
What are the top things, easy things we can do to help scale back?
Yeah. So I always say start one step at a time, because it's ironic that I'm writing a book about breaking up with busy, and then I have practical solutions and mindful practices in there on how to do it. But I've made them easy and digestible, where it can be 1 minute to 3 minutes or more, depending on what you want to do with it. So one of the first things I always tell a client or share with them when they come in is, let's try 3 things today that are really practical. Slow down the way you walk, slow down the way you talk, and slow down the way that you drive. Try that for 1 day, and what that will do is it will help you see just what kind of a pace you're keeping, and from that place you can start to determine what's making me feel anxious. What are the things that I'm doing all of the time that are making me feel anxious, frustrated, or even resentful? And then that's a good starting place. And then 1 step at a time, Michelle, because otherwise it just becomes overwhelming of more things to do. So you want to be able to see what you want to be, feel that feeling inside of you, and then walk through each day and be that person, even though it might not have already happened. You know, many of us have been in the backseat of our cars crying over not being able to get things done. So let's put a pause button on that and start anew.
All right. Well, I love it. I mean, this is going to just change lives, I believe. So. Yeah. And remember to say no, right?
Oh, goodness.
No is a great word.
Absolutely.
I'm really good at
Complete sentence.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. Yvonne, thank you so much.
My
and
pleasure.
remember, the book is called Breaking Up with Busy. It's available on Amazon.